Boom. What's going on, Team Fit Boys? I can't even explain to you how much this just took. I am tech stupid. I thought I was so smart, but I'm not. Okay, so let's get to this because I am visiting my girlfriend in New Orleans and she has all 6 kids right now. And who wants that? So let's hit it. I have done this. This is like my 4th time trying to do this. So, okay. How to spice up challenge groups. Boom. So challenge groups, what are they? Posting accountability pictures, posting pictures of your meals and your snacks, and yeah, right. So that's like the basic foundation of challenge groups. But what I wanted to come and talk to you about today was how you can weave yourself into the challenge group, how you can spice it up, okay? Because really what you want to do is you want to infuse who you are and what you're good at, okay? Because then the possibility is endless, right? So because if it's who you are and what you're good at, you'll be able to keep that train going. You'll be able to speed it up, slow it down. It'll be awesome. So I wanted to come and talk to you about some of the things that I do. So one of the things that I know about myself, guys, is that I am not like awesome clean eater like extraordinaire. I am no Sigrid Rider. Another shout out to you, Sigrid. I ain't you, girl. I am not like the Pio Queen, like Heather Chupka and Stephanie Cram. It just ain't me. So I stick to what I'm good at. I like intense, hard workouts, and I'm all about motivation, inspiration. That's who I am. So I play to my strengths. And I help and I bring everyone along in that journey. Okay, so basically one of the things that I'm learning about is that when you have a strength or like AKA a talent, and yes, Keegan, we got a straggler here. Okay, go upstairs and go see Auntie Tiff. So one of the things that I do to try to, then go up the stairs, Keegan. One of the things that I try to do is kind of like infuse all of that into my groups. So for my open challenges, guys, they're open. That means they can go to the gym, they can walk. I've got people who are pregnant, postpartum. Some have injuries. Some just aren't ready to purchase a program yet. They're kind of sort of like on the cusp. And that's okay because, right, we don't want to turn anybody away, right? So basically what I do is I start the challenge off with they have to set goals. The challenge does not begin until you set a goal. And that's important for them to do that because I tell them all the time, listen, if you're not going to invest in the program, you at least need a target. Every arrow needs a target because otherwise, where are you? You're aimless, right? So that's how we start that off. And then one of the things that I did because, you know, I wanted to kind of switch it up, okay? Because once you get followers, a lot of times they like to stay with you. So I wanted to change it up and kind of like make it more fun for them. So one of the things was I did teams, okay? Because the other part to challenge groups is we often do sneak peeks into coaching, right? We talk about the business side of things. We talk about what it means to be a coach and how it's really enriched us and empowered us. But what if they get to experience it for themselves? Really, challenge groups are like your ultimate sneak peek. That's like the meat in the sandwich, right? That is what we do. That is coaching. So my last challenge, we did teams. Okay. And one of the things that I talk about a lot in my open challenge groups is synergy. Synergy is super important to me. And I wanted everybody to understand why accountability groups work. We know they work because we're products of accountability groups, right? We've all done challenges. But to help them understand why they work, I oftentimes talk about synergy. So what happens is embedded in the point system is synergy points. So what happens is they can either find a partner or they can create a team. The whole team works out, you get 5 extra points for that day to boost your points. Or if your partner works out for that day, you get 5 points, whichever I do, whether I do couples or whether I do teams. But both has a tendency to work because what happens now, they're reaching out and grabbing and inviting someone to come along with them, which is what we want, right? And it's what we do as coaches. So, and if you have teams, what do you get to have? You get to have a team captain. Okay, so now these team captains sort of act like coaches. Okay, they're checking in with their teammates. They're making sure that they're posting, that they're working out, because let's face it, they want those synergy points. So if their teammates post, they get synergy points. If their partner posts, they get synergy points. So usually I reach out to the people that I want to see as captains. And those are the people that I'm really considering being coaches. Now, sometimes an awesome things happen where a challenger has a tendency to kind of take on like a co-captain role, and maybe you didn't see that coming. Boom, that's someone else you can talk to about coaching. So they're coaching and they don't even realize it. And you're kind of like letting them test drive your Ferrari, okay? So because this is what the meat of what we do, now they know, hey, I can do this. I just did this last month. So I've reached out to them privately, and a lot of them get they're honored that I asked them. They're super excited to do it. They start posting motivational posts themselves. They start talking about it on their page, giving people shout outs. So now you've got people who are talking to one another, who are communicating. Uh-oh. Yep, she's here.
Go.
We'll see how this goes. Can you go? Bye-bye. Go with Gabby. Yeah, you don't need to see yourself on the camera.
No.
Okay, real quick. Say hi. Okay. Bye. See you later. Go, go, go. Up the stairs. Bye-bye. Uh-oh. All right, y'all. Sorry about that. Okay, she might be back. But anyway, so now that's what you're creating. The synergy points, you're also fostering communication between challengers. Now they're building relationships. So now there's a reason to keep coming back, even when the challenge is over. They want to check on their friends. They want to see how their friends are doing. They want to see how their goals are doing. And a lot of times I encourage people to take a look at the goals file. See who has goals similar to you so that you guys can talk about it. So now it breeds like, now you're breeding like trust, you know, between each other. It's like, hey, I know what you're going through. So now you're building that camaraderie. In my program challenges, I noticed that people have a tendency to put the programs down, okay, because it gets too intense or whatever the case is. It seemed like in my challenges, I was hitting like a 2-week mark and people just started to like trickle off, and synergy is now working backwards. So because the person that they were watching and following and who was inspiring them has started to fall off, now they're beginning to fall off. So I was like, okay, wait a minute, pause. We don't want that, right? So I really sat down and I was like, okay, what's going on here? Like, what's the problem? So I realized that maybe I shouldn't start with fitness. So guys, I'm going to tell you what I did, and I'm going to tell you this because it really, really worked. I'm not sure if this will work for you, but it really worked for me. So really take a listen to your challengers. Really take a listen to where they're struggling, where they're excelling, where they need help, that sort of thing. It's almost like a trial run for how you'll manage your team if you don't have a big team yet. So my challenge was called the Total Me Challenge, and I run it once a quarter because the format is a little intense. So basically, the rules of it is if you don't post for a week, you get a message from your coach, and I reach out to you. If I don't hear back within a week, 3 days to a week, you're out of the challenge group. So people had to really make a commitment, and I think people actually liked that. They were like, okay, so this means I can't like slack off or I'll be like a total loser face. So I think people liked that level of accountability, and I made them feel okay about it. It was like, look, I'm not like, you know, the fitness Nazi. I just want to make sure that you're okay and that, you know, you haven't fallen off just for the sake of falling off. Obviously, if you've had like a real life issue, I'm not going to just boot you out of the group. They were totally okay with that. So basically what we did was I actually started this challenge on a Wednesday because for whatever reason, sometimes Mondays are just ominous to people. Like they're like, oh my God. I mean, they totally psych themselves up on the weekend because they've eaten like crap. And then they know they've got to get right back to it on Monday. But if they didn't have anything going on a Monday, they're like, I'm going to start Monday. I'm going to do it. They're like revved up and charged and ready to go. So I started this on a Wednesday. So I allowed them to sort of like recharge their internal battery come Monday, come Tuesday. By Wednesday, they're like, okay, boom, what do you got for me, Steph? So we started off with what I call giants. Again, my strength is motivation and inspiration. Find out what your strengths are, AKA your talents, okay? Because they can either be raw or they can be mature. Okay, so raw talents are the ones that you just kind of don't know what to do with. Mature ones are ones that you can aim and fire. Okay, so that's basically what I'm doing in this group. I know that this is what I'm good at. So so this is what I did. So we started off with fear, because I noticed in talking to people and reaching out to them through private messages that they were afraid of success. They were afraid of failure. They were afraid that they didn't have any support, family support. They were afraid that they would re-injure themselves. I mean, everybody was concerned about something. So that's what we started off with. And I started off with what fear was, and I started to pick it apart. And then they had to comment in the comment section about what their fears were. So this caused other challengers to read what other challengers' fear were. So the more they talked, the smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller those fears got. And then they were ready to go into the fitness portion. So 2 things about that. Okay, 1, you've taken Mondays out. No more worrying about a Monday. 2, you've had them take an introspective look and really self-assess. 3, you've helped them to reach out to other people, identify with other people, kind of create that camaraderie and that confidence within each other and within the group. Now they're more apt to share. And then also, you also bought yourself time, okay, as a coach, because not everybody orders the program when they should. So now if you're starting on a Wednesday and it's not fitness, they have until that Monday to get their program, or maybe they're waiting a day or 2, which is totally fine, but they're revved up and ready to go. I had them sign a contract with themselves to make sure, and they had to hang it up in their house, okay, and they had to take a picture of where they hung it and signed it and post it in the group as proof that they did it. So they had to make a contract with themselves, and they also had to write themselves a letter to the person at the end of the challenge. So I wanted them to congratulate themselves and write them a letter about where they were when they started, and they're so happy about where they are now. And they had to fold that up, put it in an envelope, and put it away, and wait until the end of the challenge to read it again. So then that Monday started the fitness portion. So that Monday, we geared up, and it was like every other accountability group, except I was posting things. So the great thing was that, so the next giant we moved into, because I called them giants, was like belief and hope, or faith and trust. So they had to have faith and trust, and then they had to have belief and hope. Then it was gratefulness and joy. And at the end, it was the rainbow. So that was the rainbow sort of after the storm had dissipated. But we did dream boards. We talked about our lives. We talked about where we wanted to be. Because let's face it, it's amazing how much life gets into your fitness journey and weaves itself in. Because you're finding that you might have to drop something off, or you might have to let something go, or you're going to have to make room, or you're going to have to deal with a transition period, like with kids. They're going to hate it. They're going to hate that you work out every morning because, well, mommy, why aren't you paying attention to me? So everybody might have a transition period. So this helped everybody sort of get to that point. And guys, those challenges are jam-packed. And I think I've only lost like 3 people every time. Everybody loves it. And the train is moving so good and so fast that when I bring everybody back into my open accountability group, they're still moving and grooving. And then if they want, they can either jump in the open challenge, or they can jump back in my program challenge. But now you've gotten the train moving, and you've given them something that they can't get from just posting sweaty pictures or what they do on their fitness journey. You've given them something to gain. And now that you've enriched them and empowered them, now they're more open to hearing about what it is to be a coach. It's the same thing that we went through. It was like, oh my God, I can do this. Oh my God, I feel better. Oh my gosh, you know, I'm this person, I'm that person, I read personal development, it's this, it's that. And that's another great thing to weave into your challenges, because it's a journey. And in anything that you start and want to do, you've got to be built up for it. So a lot of times too, I talk about, hey, what book are you reading? What are you going to do to help yourself get through this journey? Because you need to. The videos that I love, the quick short ones like TED Talks on YouTube that are just like fantastic and full of just great nuggets. I'll post those in the group for people to listen to, and we talk about it and we share. And so, yeah, so that's kind of what I do. And each group is totally different. So it's sort of like, you know, do you want KC barbecue sauce, or do you want like Mesquite? Do you want the Texas one? It's like, you know, both sauces are good, but what are you in the mood for? So that's what I try to offer in my challenge groups. And honestly, that has worked better than prizes. People just want to be better, more than they want a water bottle, more than they want a headband. People want to be better. Help them be better. What's gotten you to be better? That's the same sort of thing you want to cater your challenges, your challenge groups to. Get them to talk about stuff, build camaraderie, help them to meet new people, realize that this place is for them. You want your accountability and challenge groups to feel like home, so that they want to come and post, they want to come and check in, they want to come and like. So now people are like, they're friending each other outside of the group. I see it, you know, come up in my notifications. This person commented on this person's status. So those are the things that you want to create and weave into your challenge groups. I hope all that made sense. I hope that you guys got something from it, and we only had 2 visits. That was good in my book. So, guys, if you have any questions for me, y'all know I'm an open book. Post it in FitForce. Please tag me, because I already told you it is 6 kids in here. Okay. So go ahead and tag me so I see it, and I will promise you I will answer you. And pick my brain, guys. I am an idea person. I love ideas. I love big, grand ideas. Don't let that go. If you're an ideation person, if you have a ton of ideas, start making a document and write down your ideas. And maybe you can't run that challenge group right now, but maybe in the future you can, and you don't want to lose that idea. So don't be afraid to reach out and branch out, because the basis of it is always the same for accountability. But it's what you can add to the group that spices it up and makes it what it is. All right, guys. Love you guys. Can't wait to see some of y'all in Summit. Talk to you guys later. Bye.